Ugh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on, God, can you believe it? Episode 13 of building a production web application. I can't believe it. Live stream alone, I think we're past 25 hours working on this. Can you believe that? That's pretty nutty. We're putting in work. So we're doing good. But before we get going and continue on where we left off yesterday, which is pretty cool, we were doing dynamic component injection, dynamic content projection. What I want to do is do a little shout out to myself. Did you know that I just released my latest course, the 100 Front-End Interview Question Challenge? You can get it for just $9.99 using coupon code CodingGod, or click the link in the description below. So check it out. Let me know what you think. It's doing really well. It has over 100 front-end technical screen type questions. You also, while you're at it, check out the 100 algorithm challenge. Make sure that you're killing it in the game over there. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look back at our Trello board, see what we're going to be working on today. Tomorrow I have to put in some time to design, and we might do it at the end of this. I'm not quite sure how this last bit of the content projection is going to go. But I have to design not only the subcategory pages a little bit better, but I also have to design the category pages, and then a support page. So we got a little bit of design that we have to do in research and keep growing. So we're working on the support. I'm gonna put support component. So we already built this, so we're good here. We still have to get a Facebook API key. That would probably be something I do off stream. No one really wants to see someone fuddle through documentation. We have to do some investigation on a video player, and we have to decide what's going to go in here. But let's go ahead and finish up our vertical tab component, which was doing the dynamic content projection. All right, so as always, we want to go ahead, run our tests. Let's go and launch our application. You're the best man. I appreciate that, Ismail. That's very nice of you. Launch our git bash. All right, npm start. All right, so all that's loading. We'll come back to this in a second. We might even do a little bit of design here. We do have a couple high priority tickets we might pull in. The breadcrumbs is something I need to build out still for the category and subcategory and details page. We also have the advertisement component, but that's waiting on some other stuff. Vertical tabs is something in development. We have an alert animation bug. I got to create a Patreon account. Servers will recur in client-side caching. Make about. So this is I think this is a duplicate. So let's go ahead and how do you delete this thing? I think you just archive it, huh? You can delete it here. There we go. All right. That's something that we need. It's a little bit higher up. This is some technical debt I can take care of off stream. We're just doing we're cleaning the backlog a little bit. Create notifications. That's something that we'll come back to. Modal is not centered. We're not even using the modal yet. Contact us. All right, cool. I think it's good. A little bit of what we're going to pull forward. Let's go ahead and close that. Let's jump into the app. All right. So last time, what is this? Oh, this is the introduction to Angular course. So that doesn't look right. So what is this hot garbage? So last time we were using our dynamic content here, And if I remember correctly, the issue that we were having was that we weren't sure how to update this .context. And after getting a fresh night's sleep, I really thought of a very simple way of doing it, and I hope that it works. So, just as a refresher, we have this, and in resources.component.html, the issue with this that we're having is that we need to change everything to be context.html. And that's not very fun. Let's go ahead and launch the, oh, I think I already launched this, didn't I? And so we can say something like this: instance.context is equal to, oh, we have to get all of this back in. What the hell did I do here when I went to bed last night? I think I was a little tired when I finished working on this. All right, so this .component.instance is equal to instance.context. Let me go look up at the documentation that I was looking at real quick to see where we left off, because I might have jacked this up right before bed, which happens. It's been known to happen. You get a little tired, you start hacking stuff out. How's it going, VK? So let me see if I can remember. I remember. I remember what I want to do. So if we log this .context, let's go over here. Localhost 4200. I think I remember what I was doing. All right. We go here. You see how we get hello world here? That's the property, the inputs that we're passing, which on line 36, Nemenja Dezorchvik. I tried my best. I hope that was right. So our context is the input that we're passing in here. Public. All right. So, and then we can pass it to the component, and then we're saying this .instance.context. But what we want to do, I think I remember now. Alright, so this is how we had it set up originally. We had it set up like this. So we'll cast it, and then what we want to do is instance is equal to, wait for it, ... an object with this .context. Now, I think this will work still. So let's see. So if I refresh this, we should still have everything. Line 35. And now if we go to our resource component.html, we should still get our title rendered out. Nope. All right, let's do this. I got an idea. So we got to play around with this a little bit, because I don't want to have to go this .context for everything as I'm going through. think what I might have to do is something like this. Temperature is down, A. This dot. Alright, let's see what that does. I think I might have messed something up. So we still get hello world. So line 34, line 35, and we don't have context. But our title isn't displaying. I feel like our title should display. So it's loading our component. Let's go ahead and go into Reese's component here. And we'll just throw a public ng on init console.log this dot title. See what happens. Oh, we get it right here, but then it resets. So you see how the first resources component we get it? But then it resets. Interesting. So, what are we doing wrong here? We're almost there. And I had this working literally last night. We're close to it anyhow. Hey, Gator. So technically we have two things here. We have resources and we have titles. Oh, you know what? This is getting this one, isn't it? Uh-oh. Oh, these dogs. Boise! Come on, Boise. Boise. Hey! Baby! Down! Down. Down. Alright, so dogs being bad. Let's see where we're using this dynamic content. I don't even remember where we were using that stuff. So alright, category, entry components, resource component. Alright, tab, title is hello world. Alright, so we have context here. Hello world. So we're definitely We are getting hello world there. Although it's passing in titles hello world. So for whatever reason, when we go and pass it. Alright, I know what to do now. I got it. So what we have to do is just dynamically apply the keys. Would I recommend you learn JavaScript, Node, or something else for the... It depends on what you want to make, man. If you want to work for yourself, just go down whatever path you want. Just really make sure you're dedicated to it. Okay, I got it now. So, this dot context, see it here? So if we do this, I know what to do. Yeah, I have plenty of ways to monetize this project. I plan to monetize everything I do. Alright, let's just see this real quick. Alright, cool. So we get hello world still. No big deal. Or let's say instanced. Context, 'cause that's really what we care about, right? Alright, cool. We're still getting instance.context. So, what we have to do now... have I done a recap? I'm building a video documentation site. You can think of it that way. That's a very simplistic approach, but more or less that's right. There'll be a couple different ways. There'll be ads. There'll be affiliate links. And depending on the success of the site, that could grow, right? So what we want to do here is this context. We want to do this. Const keys equals object dot keys this dot context all right, and then now that we have instance, we will go ahead and say for key and keys instance key equals this dot context key. Now for in statements, so please filter with an if statement. And now I bet we get it. Bam, baby! See that? That hello world? We are dynamically applying. We don't need to have the context. It took me a second. It's a Friday, all right? It's a Friday. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Here we go. All right. So you can see we have our mappings here. Now, let's go ahead and create a new folder. We'll call it what do I want to do? All right, so we gotta clean this up a little bit. Just a little bit of refactoring, nothing crazy. Cool. My mouse is being weird. Let me turn off and on, see if that helps. All right. Create a component reference. All right, and then these mappings. So let's create a new file here. We'll call it dynamic dash content dash keys dot data dot ts. And so in here, we will go ahead and just have this be a export const dynamic content keys. Actually, let's make this an enum. That's really all right, so right now we haven't necessarily wanted to do any keys. So let's do mappings here will be equal to dynamic content keys. Great. All right. So this dot type, so we definitely pass in a type and any context. We have our renders and on init. So, all right, so let's create some private methods here. Private. All right, what we want to do here is we want to just clean up a little bit. This is like a component type, factory. Update inputs. probably want to do is definitely take this dot update inputs. We also want the keys here. All right, and I think we can probably get rid of this instance as well. We can just do something like this. Here, we can get rid of this as any this way. All right, so if I did that all right, we should oh. So that's because we didn't set a type. So let's just say that this dot type. So if we had, what do we have here? Oh, actually, this needs to be this actually can't be an enum. Let's just hard code it, make sure we didn't break anything. I know what we broke, but we are saying this is going to be of type resources component. All right, cool. So it's still going through. All right, so our cleanup's good. The only thing is we don't have any mappings, and that's fine. That's expected. And we will have to name this data and export const dynamic content keys equals, and let's go ahead and do this, dynamic underscore content underscore keys. All right, and over here, this will be equal to dynamic content keys. Whew. All right. I don't even know where to begin on how to test this shit. I could test edges destroy, and I could test that we get the correct type and update inputs. Let's go ahead and create a file. I might have to add something. I haven't actually built the dynamic content for the dynamic content type, but yeah. I thought I ran my test down here, did I not? Alright, cool. All right. We'll say on and we can do on destroy. That'll be easier. Are we there yet, bruh? Nah, but I'll tell you the same thing I tell you guys, man. Every day we're one step closer. I gotta watch this from the first video. There's about 25 hours of content for this right now. You know, it's so funny, man. People always say, man, I really wish I could just watch a senior developer develop. Like, I just want to sit there and observe and see what I can learn. I've had so many people say that to me. And then you do it and nobody watches. But that's fine. Like, and that's what I tell you guys. Like, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, you're going to start a side project, it's okay to start it with the goal of making money or making views or stuff like that, but start something that you're passionate about, because the money, the views, all that stuff will come later on. What framework is this? This is Angular. But you just got to enjoy it while you're doing it. So... So what we want to do is we want to should do some commentary. I mean, I do as I'm going through here. Like right now, we're writing tests. What commentary do you want? We built a dynamic component, and we have to make sure that it's destroyed. So we're writing a test to some more commentary. So tried a bunch of stuff I've seen. Good for you, Michael. I'm glad I'm helping somebody. Alright. God, my mouse is acting up. God, my dogs are barking downstairs. I can hear them. You gotta pull the old trickerino. Alright. It should be private. Alright. I guess I'll start with ng on init. I gotta define a couple mocks for this. So, step by one. So it. Get your so really what we're doing here is we're instantiating a component with our component reference. And in order to get there, we have to create a whole bunch of pain in the ass mocks. And consider, normally I would create mocks in their own folder, but I really don't think we're going to be using the component factory resolver anytime soon. But let's go ahead and update this key. So we'll just do resources, and then here we'll do resources component. There we go. Just so we have something to test with. Am I using a syntax reference guide, or is this all based off memory? When you write enough code, you know how to write clean code and do proper syntax and things like that. So memory is probably not the right word, but more like knowledge, based off knowledge and code by instinct and principles. All right, so let's go ahead and define what this. So say let component. What are we gonna call this? Component mock component factory resolver of type any. All right, and then we're gonna pass this into here. But here, we're gonna create a mock. And in our mock, we want resolve component factory. Ooh. What does this return? I don't even know what to mock for that, because we have to create something that this will get. Ugh. God, I actually want to skip testing this. I'm just looking at trying to write a test around this, and it's like, woo, buddy. At what level should your algorithm skills be? It really depends on your goal. What is going on with my mouse, man? What I would say is, if you want to work for a giant tech company, much better than if you just want to work for a normal company. You should be able to solve basic algorithms. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to. All right, so we're gonna have this. Let's just see. I'll start mapping something out. And this is going to return a function that returns a string that says created. That might work. So this takes in a component type. And all right. There's no way this is gonna work. All right, so let's see if this test blows up. Cannot read property create component of undefined. So we resolve component factory, which takes in whatever component type is, and then this dot container Let's see if this does it. Cannot convert undefined or null to object. I wonder where it's blowing up there. Type string is on a... Cannot convert undefined or null to object. So let's do a little bit of testing. Console.log 1. Console.log 2. Console.log 3. Console.log 4. Let's see how far we're getting. One, two, three, four. Oh shit, we actually made it through. We just have to pass something that's valid. So in our create component, we want it to return an instance. We'll have title hello world. Oh, almost. Alright, so update input. Oh no, here's what we want. Instant. We want it to return an instance. I think that's what we want. Now I think it's blown up because we didn't really tell it to do anything. Oh, you know what? I think it's blowing up because we haven't defined context. Yeah, buddy! We mocked our way down the rabbit hole. All right, so very nice. So by the end of this, we expect our container to be defined. Component dot container to be defined. We don't really care about that. All we're really going to do, I think, test here is that it gets these keys, and then we'll do this one as well. So let's go ahead and set a couple of this up in a before each. So how do we check that this gets updated? I guess we can just check that updates input. We can put a spy on it. Spy on component, comma, and in here we want to pass in update inputs. Did I do that wrong? I might have done that wrong. Let me check my spies real quick. I wonder if it's because this is private. Yeah, that's fine. I'll make it public. I don't give a shit. Expect component dot update inputs to be called. To have been called. Not the best test I've ever written, but this one's kind of hard to test. With this being public, I could technically test if this updates our instance. Maybe not. I could, because instance is private, and we definitely want to keep that private, just from a standard. So now what can we spy on component, comma, component ref. Aos is odd. What's going on, man? It's kind of hard to test this. Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay not testing this. It's a little bit complicated. We added some tests. All right. I think that's a good milestone to quit on. All right, cool. So all right, we built our we not only did we build our vertical tab, we also injected dynamic content. So we have that set up that we can use in other times in our application. Let's see. We've added some more tests. All right. Let's bring up the Trello. So we have a couple things we can do. We can do breadcrumbs. I'm going to mark this as done because we finished that component. I did the about page mock, although this is still kind of in progress. We did do the new footer. Let's see. Breadcrumbs. I haven't really fully decided on a design for breadcrumbs. I guess sort of. I know how I want to tweak what was on this page. Yeah, we can do breadcrumbs. Why the hell not? Breadcrumbs are interesting because they're outside of our... How are we going to do breadcrumbs? Because they're sort of outside of our route, our main route view. I guess not really. Alright, let's build a breadcrumbs component. What else did I say I was going to do? Bug fixes? I don't want to do bug fixes. Alright. I can barely see chat, man. Alright, there we go. So within category in our components, we're going to create a breadcrumbs component. Now the only thing I'm worried about is how are we going to create it? Well, let's start with what we know we're going to need. We're going to need a breadcrumbs template. Dude, my mouse is driving me nuts. What is going on? Alright, I replugged it in. Alright. Seems to be working better now. Alright, so create our component real quick. You guys want to hear something funny? Like, I don't live stream to make money or anything like that, but statistically speaking, if I did, based off of 13 streams now, which have averaged probably about 2+ hours, and ad revenue, I think I've made a total of $10. Although I think the majority of like where money is gonna be made is, oh, I do shout outs and stuff like that to my courses and whatnot. But it was just something that I thought was funny. I was thinking about that the other day. Cool. Now that we've done that, let's go to our category module. We can take this entry component off. I'll just leave it there for the time being because we still have to do it. I don't want to go. Alright, cool. Let's go back to here. That's what I'm telling you guys, man. Like, some people, they do it for the lulz. Some people do it for the fun. But a lot of people, unfortunately, get very caught up about the immediate. Like, yo, man, how do you... I just want to, make that money overnight sort of thing. And... what a lot of times people forget is that it's a marathon, not a sprint, guys. So I may build this whole thing in like 6 months and make $50 on stream, but maybe I'll make $50,000 a month when it's done. You never know. You never know, man. Alright, so let's start on a category page. So on category, we have app-bread-crumbs, baby. Alright. Marathon, not a sprint. The opposite's true for sex. Sprint, not marathon. April's not gonna find that funny. So let's just say JavaScript, and then we'll say arrays. What server are we using? I haven't set up a server yet, but I'll probably be doing Node and MongoDB. We've only been doing the front end of the app so far, man. Let me bring this over here. What are you doing? Pictures. Alright, cool. Alright, JavaScript arrays. And then gotta bet anything there's padding all around, isn't there? Yeah. Oh, God. All right, let's just get it. So on our UL, origin none, origin 0. Cool. Next up, on main, we'll do padding top, do padding none. All right, So we'll start there. So rel margin 0. Then we will do reserve main. We'll do padding. Cool. Now what we want to do is inject a JavaScript icon. So let's just go see this. Jump back to breadcrumbs. Very nice. All right, next up, we want to do li display inline block. Great. We'll make this a display of grid. Oh, we actually don't want that, do we? Now that I think about it, that's fine. But we want to do, on each one of these LIs, we'll do padding of about, padding dash left, maybe of 5px. Let's try this. Let's try 10 pixels. And then we will set a background color to match oops. Here, we'll just throw in a, I don't think this is right. I think it's secondary background that we want. Yeah, secondary background. I want to give it maybe a little bit of padding here. So do something like this. Padding, we'll do 5 pixels, 10px. There you go. All right, and then the background color is going to be close that for now. Is it this one? We want to match this one roughly. You'll see in a second. Is that the same color? I think that's the same color. What's the deal here with main? Oh shit, I see. I see what's going on here. Right, theoretically. Oh yeah, that looks great, Dylan. So we'll get this going in a second, but you're gonna see that basically the issue that we're having is on once we get past certain length, it's gonna start centering it like I would normally expect because this is in the block area, which it shouldn't be. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to set up a an observable that we can then tell it, hey, we went on a page that should have this, and here's its data. That's all. We're gonna get it looking right and get it taking the correct inputs first. Cool. All right. So we're partially there. But yeah, that was the same color, right? Yeah, it's the same. All right, cool. You back, Kevin? Kevin over there. Out there looking for a high quality woman. Ain't that right, Kevin? Out there. Talking about girl. 4x that income, baby. Um 4x, you know what I'm saying? Magnetized the income. All right, so all right, so let's go to Font Awesome real quick. Am I using framework? Yeah, I'm using Angular. I hope you're out there, Kevin, figuring out what your next investment's going to be, man. That's really what I hope you're doing. I hope you're out there. I hope you're out there figuring out how you're going to make sure that you're making that money. And I see these live coding sessions. That's what makes your channel unique. You know, man, I've always tackled my channel. Like I had a meeting with Udacity yesterday. They wanted me to do some stuff for them again. They liked my video I did for them. And I said, cool, yeah, no problem. And they were like asking, like, so what do you try and do for your fans? I was like, I make it about me. Like, I don't care what they want. This channel is about me growing, and I try to help as many people as I can as I go. But that's what this channel is about. This channel is about me growing. And so that's it at the end of the day. So if people can find value in that, I'm going to do what I want to do to get better and progress, and I think people will appreciate that. But you never know, man. You never know. All right, so cool. Let's try this then. Where's my home slice? Where's my music? Yeah. Not too many people live stream anymore, and the honest God truth is, like, if it doesn't really make financial sense, so like it's pretty easily understandable why no one would do it, right? All right. All right. Cool. All right, and close this. So that doesn't look like too bad breadcrumbs, but in here, well, part of it is like, part of it's also a lot of people look for that easy win, right? You know, people look for that, oh, hey, how did I become a developer in 2 days videos? And, you know, I've always been of the mindset that you're setting yourself up for failure if you do something like that. So if we have the JavaScript class here, we want to if there's an I and it has the class of fod.sjs, go and set a color of that too. This is gonna look sick for breadcrumbs. As far as breadcrumbs go, this is gonna look dope. All right, don't worry. All right, so if we have an icon with JavaScript, there we go. And it's first of type. Let's go ahead and nest this in here. This should still work, but we're gonna cool. And then we're gonna throw a little bit of padding to the right. Let's just say 5 pixels. Is that me or does this all look off slightly? God, I don't want to zoom in on that. It looks off, right? Like ever so slightly. It could just be me though. Does this? I guess it's right. All right. And then in here, we don't want this all scrunched up. We want to give it a little bit of space. And we'll say I, and then we can do and colon, is it last child? Yeah, I might have to play around with that. But that's what I'm telling you, like Kevin, is now is your time to really take it to that next level where you can make sure that you're crushing it. Just absolutely crushing it. And let's go ahead and make this font size a little bit bigger. I don't know what size it is, but we'll make it like 20 pixels. See how big that is. Okay. But like, go and make your money make money, man. That's what you need to do. And the first thing to do to get there is you have to pay off your debt. It's not sexy, it's not fun, but it is realistic. And it's much sexier when you're doing it. Dude, you know what's funny is I literally saw someone who's not a fan of Chris Sean messaged me about that and said apparently Chris Sean did meet the developer that became a dev in 2 days. And I was just like, dude, I saw that. I was like, this is going to trigger somebody. I was like, all right, man. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy path, man. It's not. But like, if you're willing, all right. Am I going crazy now? These are slightly off, right? This is literally like half a pixel. Half a pixel longer. Why the hell is it half a pixel longer? Inline flex throwing it off. I gotta. We're almost there. I'm trying to get these to line up right. People who knew me before the gig are telling them to help you get a job. It's like, bro. I mean, Kevin, how long you spent? How long did you? Was it 9, 10 months, a year to get there? I mean, I'm sure you're willing to help them, but they gotta take some initiative. It's not easy. So if it's first to type, we'll make it a display grid dash template columns auto. Let's see what happens here on this one. And then we'll make this. Give me a second here. I didn't really do exactly what I wanted to do, and I did it. A year and a half while working at a restaurant while learning 6 hours plus a day. There you go. It's not easy, but it's worth it, right? Why is this one off? You know what? I bet. I got it now. Angular is a beast. Is that what you're working in, Kevin? Thanks for pushing TypeScript on. It's helping. Told you. Let's actually mix this a p tag. This probably is semantically really ugly, but I just want to get it working and then we can clean it up. Alright, cool. And then our LIs, make them a display of grid. And then our P is gonna have margin 0. Alright, and then get that on one line. What's the dealio over here, dog? You got an agency and the project you're on for the next 2 months is being stacked. So, are you contract or are you salaried? There we go. So that's a little bit much. Cool. Salary. Look at that. I got. Not only did you go from washing dishes, I bet you didn't have no medical insurance washing dishes. No PTO. Probably no 401k. You got 401k, some bonuses maybe? Maybe a little profit sharing. My man. Doing it good. There you go. So you know what's up, huh, Kevin? That first one has some padding on it. I see. That's where I made my mistake. Is in the right spot. I just forgot one more thing. There we go. Now we have that nice even spacing. Don't worry, man. Give it another 2 years. You'll hate work again. Think about having a job. There's always a reason to hate it. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right, cool. So we have our, let's go ahead and make this cursor pointer. Cool, so you click on this, and it's going to do something, right? It's going to navigate you. You know what, Kevin, man? When you're feeling comfortable, and you feel like you got your feet under you, why don't you come on the channel, man, and we'll, if you don't mind sharing your story, because that's what people really like about me, is that I share my story. And they're like, yo, man, pizza delivery driver to 6 figures. Cool. All right, so the next thing we want is, all right, so let's collapse some of this stuff. We're done with these things. So now we're li, and when it's the last of type, what we want to do is we want to set the color to white. All right, cool, Kevin. So take a little time to get your feet under you, and we'll connect, man. I want you to focus on getting your money right, getting your mind right, and then we'll talk and give it like a month or two. Because I definitely want you. I just want you to stay focused, man. Any place I go to find motivation for these side projects? The bank? No, honestly, a lot of it's just, I try to say, what is it that I want? What is it that I like doing? And what is something that I could do long term? So like this project, I'm trying to rebuild W3 schools in my own fashion. It's a multi-year project. It has many milestones. It's something I can work on off and on continually for quite some time, much like the YouTube channel. So I look for projects that either have very set specific things that I'm going to accomplish. Like the podcast is 24 episodes, we're done, and then I can come back to it. That's sort of what I look for when I start projects. But there's also the inverse of I like to take on big challenges and something I can do continually. So for you, Kevin, what I would say is think about your hobbies, think about what it is you're passionate about, think about what you enjoy and that you would have fun. And first off, find a way to monetize it, because the thing I have found is that once you're able to turn a buck, even if it's not that much with it, you're that much more motivated. Something about passive income keeps you motivated long term. But figure that out and have fun with it. So it's definitely got to be something that you can see yourself playing around with for a while. All right, let's go back to here. What is the background? All these grays look so alike. There we go. Oh my goodness. I'm awake now, boys. We are awake now. So I tried secondary. What is the color of our body? It's just black, huh? Nice. Alright, so the idea here with these things is to treat them almost as tabs. So let's say we had like map. And so we have these tabs, and then you jump between the tabs in here. The last thing we need to do two more things. Well, we need to get rid of that one because there's no other thing. So we would have like an NGF. We could also just do a display. We could just do it all in CSS. That's fine by me. So LI. So if it's last to type, yeah. We don't even want that. There we go. So that takes care of that. Yeah, the old Jay Fluke. Josh doing good, man. I've been watching him, God, since maybe 20,000 subscribers. I don't know. It's been a minute. And I've always really liked his content. But people just appreciate the honesty, man. That's all it is. Wrap this all in a div. Yeah, man, he's killing it. I was supposed to put some of my courses on his platform, but I think he's just been too busy, man. That guy's grinding. Alright, cool. Now that we've done that, This is gonna look sick. Alright, so there it is. What do you guys think? Maybe add a little bit of padding on the end here. Yeah, on that last one. We'll add a little bit of padding. What do you think? That's not a bad breadcrumb, right? As far as breadcrumbs goes, that's fire. I'm just saying. That's fire, right? And mind you, it's going to be all the way to the left, right? So it's not going to be popped out. I mean, I guess it could be. But I think that looks solid. And so what I'm thinking of is, well, once I have like authentication or like a sub nav here, we'll put like a little 3 dots here, and then it'll pop down. Okay, so we did the styles. Where are we at right now? I got about another 19 minutes. All right. So we have to create a breadcrumb service. Just to show you what this guy sent me. And mind you, I don't pay him all that much, but like how much better is what I did compared to what he did? It's like a bad meme. Yeah, let's go ahead and add a margin bottom on that. My buddy that I was telling about this project, he's making fun of me. He's like, dude, you take all your design decisions by VS Code. I said, what better than to steal the UI UX from a texter that all developers know right now for our site? And then we'll do different themes, and we'll do like Sublime and Atom and WebStorm. People are gonna know. That's all. All right, cool. So now that we've done that, we're gonna need to define our model for this, which we might already have a model that will work. So our breadcrumbs is going to have an input. Public breadcrumbs, which will be, let's just define this array real quick. We'll initialize it to an empty array. We want breadcrumbs to be. So we're going to have a URL, which will be a string, and then we're going to have a label, which is going to be a string. I feel like I've done this somewhere before. Let me go look at the title service real quick. Oh, you know what I need to add? I was talking with some of my coworkers and brought up a good point that I need to make this a server-side app. So I need to add a card here for Angular Universal. All Alright, so we're going to have a label. Call it label key. Let's go and create a new file here. We'll call it breadcrumb.model.ts. Export class breadcrumb. Public label string. Public URL string. This will be label key. Alright, cool. Let's eliminate this real quick. And we'll say breadcrumbs is equal to. What is breadcrumbs equal to? Oh, uptype breadcrumb. Alright, so now we've done that. I think we originally just hard-coded this on the category component page. What we actually want to do is have this be part of our, like where that should really live is our app component.html. And it should live right above router outlet right here. And then we should tell it, because we don't necessarily want to. We could on every page we want breadcrumbs and documentation wise put it in there. It's not really that bad of an idea, because it's only going to be on, how many pages is it going to be? It's yeah, it's going to be on. Yeah, I think that's fine. I was going to say we could create a service and trigger it here and update it dynamically, but I honestly don't think, I think that's overkill, because we're only going to throw it in 2 places, maybe 3 at most. And I think that's all right. How long we got? About 10 more minutes. All right. How do I want to do this? Also, let me find it. Quick question, should I feel bad about taking my time while I work on stuff? That's an interesting question. So, are you writing tests for your code? So the short answer is no. The long answer is it depends on where you're at in your career. So, and what you're trying to do. Right now, your number one goal is to make the business happy and continue to get better for your first 3 months at this job. So that's your goal, is to keep your job for the next 3 months. After that, you're in the clear. Now, some places you'll find really just want you to hack something out, and that's been known to happen once or twice. So what I would say is, Kevin, especially so early on in your career, I imagine that you're trying to check something, but you don't know what it is you're checking for. You have to write tests. This is an excellent thing. So what I would say is, so this is what you should do. You should read Clean Code. You should read The Clean Coder today. Both of those books are going to help you, and then you'll get your answer. But no. Take your time, deliver something, and if you're going too slow, typically the business will let you know. All right, you know what? Let's call it on here because I gotta hop on a call with Ricky, and we're gonna do a little bit of UI UX review, see what my boy Rickon has to say, and continue on the grind. But that's what I'd tell you, man, is read those 2 books. One's gonna teach you how to write better code. Another one's gonna teach you how to be a professional. And I think that will help you in your answer. But I also would say part of the reason that I think you feel like you need to check your code over and over again is because you're not quite confident enough to get to where you need to be quite yet, software-wise. So like the very first year of me becoming a software developer, I focused on learning technologies. The second year I focused on leveling my skill up, and so that's probably the path you're going to need to take, but you don't necessarily have to. Once you level your skill up, and if an organization's writing tests, sounds like you're at a good organization for that, because you'd be surprised how many people I've had offers from billion-dollar banks that don't write tests of any type. Yeah. My only concern with you saying you check your code over and over again is that you probably don't know what you're looking for. You probably don't know what you're even trying to check for, if that makes sense. Like, just because probably skill-wise at where you're at in your career, you're very junior. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying probably from a factual standpoint. And so you're at the point, as most junior developers are, where you can make something work. You can't necessarily make it work well. You can't necessarily make it work long term. So I would focus on probably leveling that up, and then when you check your code, you'll figure out that as you write it, you typically don't need to rewrite it. So yeah, it's a long answer for a simple thing. Just keep working hard. You'll do fine, man. But all right, I'm gonna hop on a call with Ricky. Thank you guys so much for watching another live stream. If you're interested in my courses, you can get them for $10 in the description below, like the 100 algorithm challenge or the 100 front end interview question challenge to help you pass those technical screens. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow, man. I've been diving deep in this, although I need to do a lot of design, so maybe not. But have fun. Have a good weekend if I don't see you.